Hi everybody, it's Oni. Welcome to part 1 of What If Deku Had 2 Nekomata Girlfriends, or Neko Girlfriends the way you would like to see it. If you guys actually like to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit the like button down below. The next part, let's go for comments. Let's try and get 100 comments by the span of 24 hours. If you guys can get 100 comments down below, I'll release the next part as soon as possible. I do hope you all enjoy this video. And make sure to become a member down below. It's only a couple of pounds, or dollars, wherever you're from. And you guys can get extra perks and see these videos early as you go along. Hope you all enjoy. Bakugo, stop. Don't bully them, Izuku said. What do you mean, Izuku? Bakugo said, with snarl and anger in his tone. These two little girls here don't know their places yet. So it's better off them transferring to a different school than them coming to my middle school where I'm going to be the #1 hero, Bakugo said. So you're going to be the #1 hero of a middle school? That sounds a bit pedophilic, one of the girls said, as Bakugo, with rage and anger, threw an explosion at one of the girls' head, with Izuku taking the brunt of the blast out of that, as Izuku's skin was charred and a little bit peeled off at the sudden explosion to his abdomen. As Bakugo would reach down and grab Izuku by the collar. You dare jump in front of the #1 hero's blasts without a good reason, Midoriya, Bakugo said with malice. As Bakugo would grab more of Izuku's skin and slowly tearing at it until it was peeling off, just like the same as his explosion on his stomach. As Izuku there was wincing in pain, as the only thing he could do and watch, as he is beaten up to a pulp, as he bleeds out. As one of the girls behind Izuku rushed to Bakugo, punching him in the stomach, knocking him back severely, and leaving him bruised on the cheek. As Izuku would finally get up to his feet, even with a scarred tissue on his face, stomach, arms, and even a slight bit of blood coming down his left eye, he was still able to stand, proving to Bakugo that he is the worthless one, not him. If Izuku at 12 years old or 13 years old at this point in his second year is able to stand up after all those shots he took to the stomach and head, and still stand out with minor injuries, he's a better person. Well, Izuku thought at least. A minute later, both of them came to him, asking if he was okay, as Izuku waved them off, saying that he was fine, as Izuku limped to one leg, limping himself to the corner, of a wall, until he sat down again, catching his breath. You don't look okay, one of the girls said. Trust me, I'll be fine. Trust me, he's done a lot worse to me than this, Izuku said. That doesn't seem something to be proud of, does it? Not really, no, but you get used to it after a while since he abused me quite often. But, ayo, what can you do about it? Izuku said. So, what's your names? Izuku said. Oh, my name's Kyoka, and this is my big sister, Kaneko. It's the opposite way around. Kaneko's the little sister, the other way around, just to let you guys know that I messed it up. As Izuku introduced himself as well. Hi, my name's Izuku Midori, and it's very nice to meet you both, Izuku said, as he winced in pain slightly. We do need to get you to the nurse, Kyoka said, as she picked Izuku up bridal style. And they're not heavy for you? Nah, I'm a third year. This means nothing, she said, carrying Izuku to the infirmary. As they were walking there, a bunch of the Kyoka's classmates were staring at them, as most of them thought, what is Kyoka doing with the quirkless kid? They said. Maybe she's tricking him to do some stuff, but Kuroka's not that type of person. She's nice as hell, one of the kids said. She's so nice taking care of the quirkless and disabled, one of the women said, as they both got to the infirmary room, as she set down Izuku. As when Izuku got settled down, the nurse came in and saw Izuku in his terrible state. Izuku, was it Bakugo again? Yes, he said. That boy needs to get expelled or at least a prison sentence for this one. This is fucked up, she said. Wait, this happens more often? Yep, this happens a lot more often than we think it does, the nurse said. Then why isn't he being convicted? Because our world is corrupt, little one. And it really doesn't let him get away with it, but we do try our best to make sure he gets at least a punishment, the nurse said. Try? That means nothing, but Izuku got hurt. Trying to save us, she said. Wait, Mako is bullying you too? Yeah, why? Why else would you think he bullies us? We're Nekomatas, she said. Oh, you mean that rare species of cat? Yeah, that type of cat. Oh, okay, she said nonchalantly. As Izuku got treated for all his wounds, healed, and so on and so forth, as he would leave the infirmary for that day. As he would exit the doors, he would meet up with Kuroka and connect. As for the first time in years, Izuku's managed to actually make friends. Actual friends that wouldn't kick him to the curb and then quite literally gladly kill him just because of one little minor detail that he's quirkless. Izuku felt so happy about this that he managed to stay with them for around about 3 hours at an arcade before he left to go home. As 3 hours passed, as Izuku finally is home, as Inko greets him and says, "Where have you been all day, Izuku?" Inko says, "I've just been out with a friend," he said. "Wait, a friend? My Izu has friends?" she said happily. "Yes, Mom, I have a friend. Who is it? Are they girls?" Inko said. Maybe, Izuku said, shrugging his shoulders. "My little boy has girlfriends," Inko said, bouncing side to side, like she's some form of maniac. "How old are they?" Izuku, Inko said. "They're the same age as me," Izuku said, bowing his head slightly. "Are they your girlfriends? Huh? Inko said, as Inko kept on nudging Izuku's arm to reference what she was actually saying to him at the time. "Mom, I have to go to bed and go to do some homework. See you in a bit, Mom," Izuku said, as he laid back in bed, thinking about he has actual friends instead of just people he hangs around with like Bakugo, bully him, treat him like trash, and kicks him out whenever he's fed up with him at the time of when he is finished. As the next day arrived, as Izuku and Kyoka and Kaneko both meet up again. As this time, Izuku is more prepared to deal with them and their antics. "So, Izuku, what are you planning on doing today after school?" Kuroka said, as she hugged him from behind. "Oh, Kuroka, it's you. I was only planning on, Izuku stuttered. "I planned on going to the home," Izuku said. "So, can we come?" she said. "Well, I don't know you that well," as Kaneko just gave her puppy eyes the best she could, as Izuku went through the rest of his day like normal, as the rest of the months after this statement was normal all the way until the sludge villain incident happened. Instead of just Izuku getting captured, it was Kaneko and Kuroka as well. All Might came to save them, of course, but at the cost of his time limit. He had to, run. Leaping wouldn't help, as Izuku grabbed onto All Might's back as All Might ran. As Kuroka and Kaneko came to, they saw Izuku running around with All Might's back. Seeing that Izuku was gone in a flash, they wondered why All Might grabbed Izuku and gone, so they followed his scent behind. As they were about to catch on to Izuku, until they heard a deflating noise. As All Might felt like he was coughing out a third lung. Well, who we know, All Might destroyed most of his respiratory system, so maybe that is quite helpful to him, I don't know. As All Might did the same thing to Izuku as he did in canon, but Kuroka and Kaneko came in this time to help him out. Sorry, kid, but you can't be a hero without a quirk, All Might said. Who are you to say that? Kuroka said, as she came barging in. Kuroka? Izuku said, as he still had tears pinching at the side of his eyes. Who cares if you're the number one hero? Izuku's our hero, and that's the only thing we need, she said, as she grabbed onto Izuku's arm, hugging him tightly. If you think you can't be a hero without a quirk, then you don't deserve to even be one, Kuroka said, staring at All Might with a death glare and a half. As All Might grabbed the pinch of his nose. You know that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is you have a better opportunity of becoming part of the police or the medical staff. But the medical staff already have healing quirks like Recovery Girl and everything. What can I do to help them? Izuku said, looking down, more and more depressed as this goes along. As Kuroka just hugs him tighter as Kaneko pounded at All Might's weak spot, making him cough up more blood. As All Might pushed Kaneko to the floor, saying to stop that. You can't keep on hitting there, I'll probably die, All Might said, as Izuku saw Kaneko getting pushed, as he helped her up to her feet. As the only thing Izuku could do at that moment was just stand there in utter shock and despair. No wonder they always said, never meet your heroes in person, because they'll always do something that you might regret later in life. As Izuku and Kuroka and Kaneko both walked home. I can't believe that All Might guy's actually a prick, Kaneko said, same with Kuroka. Yeah, All Might doesn't deserve to be praised. No one does. If All Might acts this way with his fans, wear quirklets and everything, hell, he doesn't even deserve to have his overwhelming power that he has. He deserves to have no power even at all. The only reason why our even society's even holding up is because of his power, Izuku said. But Izuku, I know what he said hurts me, and it still does. But without him being the symbol of peace, I'm pretty sure everything would have already collapsed by now, Izuku said. Yeah, but Izuku, but nothing, Kuroka. If All Might didn't help all those people, I'm pretty sure Akaite would have collapsed, as Izuku started crying balls of tears. As Kaneko and Kyuriko both hugged Izuku tightly, I know I said their names wrong, as Izuku would start hugging him, the tighter they got, the more Kuroka and Kaneko both felt their body temperature rise, like a cat trying to protect its young. Both of them thought Izuku needed protecting the most with his mental state, since All Might told him those things today. Izuku is now on the edge of breaking. One more thing, and he would leap. Kuroka and Kaneko both thought in unison. We will protect you, our little Izuku, no matter what, they said, both hugging him tighter as their tails wrapped around his hands, leading his hands to their, waist, leading them to hug there for the next hour, until Izuku arrived home with both of them in tow. As Inko both said, "Oh, hi, you two. You three. How have you liked school today?" Inko said. "It was good, Miss Inko." "Yes. Izuku and both of us were just going to go into his room to study, that's all," Kuroka said, leading Izuku into his room. "So, what happened, Kaneko?" Inko said. "We met All Might," she said. "So, what did he say?" He's not a good person at all. He's an asshole," Kaneko said. "What do you mean, he's an asshole?" "He said to Izuku something that I don't want to repeat." As Kaneko walked off with anger on her face into Izuku's room, until she got attached to Izuku. She felt happy again, knowing that all her anger switched away as Kaneko and Kuroka both sat in Izuku's room all night until the next morning, as Izuku didn't know what to do. He didn't know if he wanted to kill himself alive, take his stuff out of UA and go somewhere else. He was stuck. No quirk, no hero. No hero, no quirk, no hero, nothing. All those people who would have got unlucky born with one, they were lucky in themselves to even have something such spectacular as a power. I don't know why people would think it as a curse, Izuku thought internally. As he brung himself deeper and deeper into despair, Kuroka shook his shoulder and told him to wake up. As Izuku did, he stared down at Kuroka with a glint in his eyes, seeing that she was next to him all through the night, lighting a little bit of hope in Izuku's heart. There is something to still hold on to, minus his mother, of course. Izuku, Kaneko said, snuggling up to his side in the bed, as Izuku had a bright red blush on his face. If All Might says you can't be one, then we'll force you to train one. You can be a hero, she said, as she brushed the side of her face with her paw-like hand. As Izuku, with newfound confidence, decided that very second he was going to become a hero. Even if All Might said so, he couldn't be one. Izuku knew he could be one, with his 2 Nekomata friends by his side. Thank you all for watching this video. Part 2 will be released as you guys get the goal out as soon as possible. Thank you all and have a good day. Goodbye.